these right here are a Fernco. They're one type of what we call a mechanical joint. So where we have fittings where you can glue things together in terms of plastic, you can solder copper, you can even melt lead and do a lead and oakum joint for cast iron, though no one does those anymore. These are what are called mechanical joints. So all that means is literally the seal that you're creating is rubber from this sleeve here and pressure from the clamp. And so that mechanical force is what creates the joint that seals off this fitting. When you put a piece of pipe here, you put a piece of pipe here and you want to connect them, the mechanical force is what creates the mechanical joint that connects these pipes without any leaks. So a mechanical joint, you can have a Fernco like this where you have these two clamps in the rubber sleeve. You can also have what's called a no hub coupler. So this is for no hub cast iron, meaning just plain cast iron pipe that you're connecting two pieces together. You have this little lip in the middle where the pieces of pipe will meet, so you know that it's fully in there. You just slide them in, and same way, you're just going to screw these down. The clamps will shrink in and it'll put pressure on that pipe to seal it off. So this is what we call a no hub. That's for soil pipe, cast iron soil pipe. We also have what are called mission bands right here. So in contrast to these no hub couplers, which are for soil pipe, we also have mission bands, which look very similar, but you're going to want to notice the smooth band rather than the ridges of a no hub coupler. So whenever you're working with plastic or really much anything but just plain cast iron, you're going to want to use these mission bands. This shielding makes for a much stronger joint. And so where these Ferncos, you're going to use them a lot of the times where you have slight offsets and things in the pipe, maybe a 1/4 of an inch between one pipe and another where it's just a little bit off. These are fantastic because they're flexible. When you have something coming together just right, honestly, 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to use this just because this metal is going to give it so much more strength. You're not going to have anything pulling against each other. Once you have this clamped down, it is going to be super solid for you. Now these, you only want to use inside the wall. These, I've seen people use them underground, but I'm going to show you what you should be using underground here. So the last type of mechanical joint, well, technically there's two. I'm going to show you one here and the other one's going to be pretty similar. So this is what we call a husky band. A husky band is very similar to a no hub band in the sense that it has these ruffles here. But the beauty of this one is that it has these 4 bands, and this shielding is just that much more tough. It's just that much tougher than this flimsy ruffled one here. So these husky bands, you can use underground. You're going to want to wrap it up real well, but you can use these underground as well as in the walls. So these are really the gold standard. If you want something that's going to be just beautiful and really hold up, even when you have heavy cast iron pipe, you have a lot of force coming into this joint, these husky bands will do it for you.